So let me first say that I have already cried this out. I have already gone through months and months of being depressed and frustrated and exhausted. And I feel like that's the point I'm at now is I've come to accept what's happening, even though I disagree with it, but I guess I've just accepted it, and that's why I'm able to keep my composure for this video. But that doesn't mean that, that this is any less serious to me. I'm devastated, you guys. Yeah, so just believe me when I say that this is absolutely heartbreaking to me, but who wants to watch a sad video, So I'm gonna still try to make it a little bit lighthearted. I'm gonna try and make it as entertaining as possible. But yeah, I feel like this is going to be more informative versus funny. But you probably saw the title and the thumbnail, and it's true. I am being forced to leave Sweden because of a very frustrating situation that has been going on with my visa. I wasn't sure if I wanted to make this video, but there's a few reasons why I think this video is important. The first reason is that it directly affects me and this channel. I love making videos about Sweden and my life here in Sweden, and now I'm being forced to leave Sweden. So that's just going to be a big shift in content. But don't worry, I'll explain what kind of videos I have coming up. But the second reason I want to make this video is because I like to make videos that are more lighthearted and fun and just kind of giving my perspective of Sweden. And I love making those videos because then you guys will comment on them and I learn so much more that way too. But I think what's important to understand is that even though I'm only showing maybe like the fun, silly side of my time here in Sweden, there has been this much darker and frustrating reality that's behind the scenes that you guys don't get to see. And I do think it's important to talk about it. I have been here for 2 years and I've dedicated many years before that to trying to move my life here to Sweden. And it's been a lot more difficult than maybe it seems. And I just want to give more insight into what I've been going through while all these other videos are coming out about how much I love Sweden. And then there's this one part that has just made it very difficult to be here. And ultimately, I won't be here anymore for now. So in this video, I want to explain what I've been dealing with and why the Migrations office thinks that it's time for me to go. So I originally filmed this part, but it took way too long. I spent like 20 minutes going over the backstory, so I'm gonna spare you the details and just summarize it here. Basically, the original plan was that I was going to get my master's degree in Sweden, and then after you complete your master's degree, you can apply for the after studies visa. And this is the visa that has caused all the problems. But an after studies visa is the visa you get after you finish your program, and then it allows you to look for work in Sweden. So it's kind of like an in limbo type of visa, because then once you find a job, then you can apply for the work visa. So I applied for this in May of 2020. The Migrations office rejected this application in January of 2021, and their main reason was for financial stability. At this point, I had two options. I either had to leave Sweden within 4 weeks, or I could appeal the decision. And if I appealed the decision, I was allowed to stay in Sweden until they reviewed the appeal. So that's what I ended up doing. I appealed the decision in January, and 8 months later, again, in August of 2021, I received another rejection letter. So that's a very quick overview of what happened, but now we'll go back to the original footage where I start talking about my second appeal and my second rejection. I thought I was gonna keep my composure, so I'm still gonna try and present this as calmly as I can. But the key word here is stability, because the main thing is that I have to show that I can support myself financially. And so I, of course, was supporting myself financially. I was doing online work. I was doing some freelancing. The thing is, in the eyes of Migrationsverket, it wasn't a fixed job. It wasn't like, it wasn't the same salary every month. I was getting paid. It was kind of like fluctuating, but altogether, I was still making enough. And so to them, that wasn't stable enough for them. And I just need to point out the biggest irony here is that they want me to be financially stable while I'm looking for a job in Sweden. I just can't stress that enough of just how am I supposed to make that happen? So in this appeal letter, I said basically the same things I'm telling you guys right now. And I included all of that in my appeal letter, sent that in January. And 8 months later, in August of 2021, they rejected my appeal. So I give it a last shot. I called an immigration lawyer. I tried to call Migrationsverket. I was sending emails to Migrationsverket. I visited Migrationsverket, and basically all of them said the same thing, saying that, once my appeal goes to the Swedish Supreme Court, I didn't even realize that's where it was headed to, but my appeal at the Swedish Supreme Court was almost guaranteed to be rejected, because I guess the Supreme Court doesn't look at immigration cases unless it's like a very special circumstance. So all of them that I had talked to were just upfront with me, saying like, it's probably going to get rejected. So just prepare for that. I mean, I went for it anyway, thinking like I was going to like buy some extra time. And I thought I was going to have at least a couple months to kind of figure everything out, to like move back to the States. And I got their decision within 2 weeks. So literally just a couple weeks ago, I got the decision, and sure enough, it was like, yeah, we're not going to look at your case, and the decision still stands. And that was like the final nail in the coffin. Is that the right expression for the situation? Because it was like, that was my last chance. And when I got that decision, I officially had 4 weeks to get the heck out of Sweden. And right now I'm in week 3. So, I am about to leave. I'm leaving in a few days. So yeah, there are things that I am looking forward to when I go home. I haven't been home since before the pandemic. And of course, I'm so excited to see my family. And there is a lot to be excited for, to go home, But this is where I get so angry, I guess. Basically when I went to Migrationsverket, and I've been there several times regarding this whole situation, but I asked them, like, what am I supposed to do? I had this rejection letter. This was in August. Like, what am I supposed to do? Or what are my options? And the lady there just said, just go home. And I was like, what do you mean just go home? Because like, this is my home now. I've been in Örebro for 2 years, and the plan was to keep being here. But like, go home to the States to what? Like, I don't have a job in the States. I don't have a car. I don't have an apartment. I don't have health insurance. I don't have anything lined up for me at home, quote unquote home, I can't just pick up and move there like it's nothing. And especially with a deadline of 4 weeks, how am I supposed to organize any of that? And yes, I'm very fortunate that I do have parents that will let me move back in with them. Woo! Almost 30 years old, but I'll be living at home again. I guess I'm just very frustrated that like nobody at Migrationsverket cares. And like, I get it. I'm already going to say, like, I get it. They don't need to care. Like, they don't need to care about the people who apply. This is just their job. And I am just one tiny little name on their long, long list of applications. I even looked it up, and there's currently like 3,000 applications that are in progress right now. And I'm just one name, So they're not expected to care, and I get that. But it's just the fact that they're so quick to be like, yeah, but like just go change your entire life right now. And to not offer anything more than that in terms of just like help. And I feel like through this whole process, they haven't given me any help. Like, what I also am frustrated about is that I've tried calling them for the past at least month and a half. The line doesn't go through. It just hangs up on you.
All our lines to our contact center are currently busy. Please call later. Please call later. All our lines to our contact center are currently busy. Please call later.
Wow. But I'm not kidding, like a month and a half, and it still just hangs up on you when you call. So then the only option then is to send an email. Well, normally they'd get back to me within a day or two, but probably since now everyone's emailing, they didn't get back to me for like 2 to 3 weeks. And if I'm forced to leave within 4 weeks, like that's way too long. So that's why I just went to the office myself. Well, in the office, you're not allowed to videotape or take photos. So everything that they tell you there is just hearsay. Like, I have to just remember it. And I want everything in writing. And maybe that's like the American side of me, because like I want everything in writing so that there is no miscommunication there. But when I told the lady that, like, yeah, I've been trying to call and the phone call hasn't gone through, it just hangs up. And she just shrugged. No one cares. Why doesn't anyone care? Like, they don't have to care about me personally, but it's just like, can they try to like help us? It's exhausting because it's not just a couple months. It's a year and a half. A year and a half of just waiting and writing appeal letters and trying to make phone calls, and they're not going through. And in the end, it just feels like it's for nothing because they rejected it all. And I just feel like it's a waste of time. And I feel like nothing can move forward in my life because I've been waiting for this one thing. I asked the lady, like, okay, if I apply for a Sambo visa from the States, how long will it take to get an answer? And she checked in the system and she said between 9 and 13 months. Here I was thinking, like, I'm in Sweden. I'm going to be in Sweden. And now I have to move back to the US for like a year, which is such an awkward amount of time. Because it's like, again, can't really like settle down in the States for just 10 months because I'm going to spend those 10 months just trying to come back here. Once I go back to the States, I'm not going to feel relief because the process isn't over yet. I have to do this all again. I have to apply again. It's just been very discouraging because I spent years before moving here planning my way to come here, saving up money, applying to schools, moving here. And it was like all of that planning for what? Like, it didn't work. And to think that I have to do this all again is just a very daunting task ahead of me with no certain outcome. But, fingers crossed that I will be back in Sweden within a year. And during that year, you guys are going to get some awesome content. What a terrible transition. But no, like I said, I actually have a lot of things to look forward to. I've done almost a year's worth of videos now in Sweden, and I'm excited to flip-flop it and show you what it's like in the States. But of course, I want to keep everything Swedish themed because Minnesota has a lot of Swedish history, and I got so excited when I realized like all the kinds of videos I can make from Minnesota instead. I think it'll be really fun actually to show you guys all the cultural differences and the fact that I've been gone for 2 years. I wonder what it will be like to be home again and to see everything with fresh eyes in a sense. And if there is anything you guys want to see in particular, please let me know in the comments. I'll definitely be back in Sweden at some point. I'm leaving most of my stuff behind, including my sambo. So I'll be back at some point. And since Migrationsverket thinks I'm not financially stable, make sure you hit that like button, add a comment, subscribe if you're not. Take that, Migrationsverket. I'll prove to them that I'm financially stable. All right, thanks so much for watching, you guys, and I'll see you guys soon, but from the States, I guess. All right, hej då.
Har du frågor om Brexit, om att flytta till någon i Sverige? Alla linjer till kontaktcenter är för närvarande upptagna. Vi ber dig ringa senare.
Okay, so that's what they've said for literally like a month. Yeah, I'm gonna try again.